Now entering Nerdist.com.
People of Earth. That's so stupid. Thanks again for downloading. Today we learned this is number 13, I believe. Today we learned number 13. I want to thank you guys for downloading it once again. If you're listening to this. Today's show is sponsored once again by HostGator. We love the folks at HostGator, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just tell you how much we enjoy HostGator. HostGator is your one-stop website shop. HostGator makes it simple to get your professional website online and quick, with plans starting at just $3.47 a month. $3.47 a month. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And let's face it, getting a .com nowadays is hard to do. It's 2013, a lot of people have .coms. I have a bunch of .coms, but I'm also starting to get .nets, because getting a .com is hard to do, and a .net domain powered by VeriSign, on the other hand, still have a ton of awesome names available. .nets powered by VeriSign they're the way to go nowadays. So once you get your .net, you have your domain. Now it's time to build your website. Build it, they will come, as they say in the movie picture business. Use HostGator's drag and drop builder or WordPress. No need to code. HostGator makes it easy for you. Get your site up and running with just a few clicks. Get it up and running, and start doing your thing. Head over to HostGator.com, buy some hosting, get some .nets. Use the coupon code LEARNED30 and get an extra 30% off and help support the show. So we want to thank you guys for supporting this show. And we want to thank HostGator for sponsoring it and supporting this show as well. So go support HostGator, and in return you'll be supporting us. And in return we'll be able to continue making these podcasts and pretending to be smarter than we really are. Well, that's me. Dan's really smart. I'm not very smart. But anyways, I digress. I don't even know what digress means. But I do know this episode is a very fun episode. Our guest today is Clark Duke. He's a really, really fun dude, really cool guy. And you've seen him on Hot Tub Time Machine. You've seen him in Kick-Ass 1 and 2. He's in the new ACOD movie with Adam Scott. Really fun dude, really great guy to hang out with. And this is a fun episode, so I think you guys will all enjoy it. So, let's light this candle. Here we go.
Today we learn.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
All right, guys, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Today We Learned with Dan and Razzle, Razzle and Dan, however you want to slice it. We're your host. As always, I'm Dan Casey.
And my name is Razzle.
And today we have a very exciting guest. He's a very hilarious actor. You saw him in Kick-Ass 2. You saw him in Hot Tub Time Machine. You'll see him in Hot Tub Time Machine 2. He's just a great guy. Clark Duke, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is Clark's voice.
Yes.
If that was unclear.
Razzle's not doing
From
a
the
bit.
get-go, yeah.
Hi, y'all. My name is Clark Duke.
Yeah. We've been watching a lot of Jeff Dunham, so we're trying our best.
You're really good at throwing your voice to this other mic.
Yeah, it's just leaning over.
I like that your impression of me was like super effeminate. Like,
Yeah, but I had it.
it's like the Atlanta Southern accent.
It's like Dolly Parton in 9 to 5.
That checks out. That's also everyone's impression of me, by the way.
I'm not I mean, this is the first time I met you, and I don't. In the movies, like I just watched Kick-Ass 2 not too long ago, and I've never recognized like the drawl or whatever because you're from the South.
Yeah.
So just we were talking about wrestling briefly, and just the way you're Southern. My
subject matter brought out the accent.
Exactly. Yeah. My grandmother's from Alabama, so I instantly picked to it. So when Dan's like, oh, I just instantly went to the y'all. Anyways. Yeah.
I try to tone it down for the work.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Sorry, I'm from the Boston area, and one of the things people always ask me is, where's your accent? And I never developed one, so
really?
I have the opposite experience. It's not like...
I find a lot of times it's not so much a geographical thing as it is like an urban rural thing. Because like you can be, like people from like Dallas won't have an accent, but people from like 100 miles east of Dallas, sound like hillbillies. Like,
yeah, but it's weird because my father has a very thick Boston accent, as did most of the other kids in my town. It's just, it never took.
The Town.
Yeah,
Like,
The Town.
Seen that movie?
Yes, it's based on every child in Massachusetts undergoes a similar experience. We rob a bank, try to escape through Fenway Park. Yeah,
that was a good movie.
Just that
I
one
enjoyed
line,
it.
whose car we
I
take?
did. I was an extra in that movie to make some
Really?
side cash during college. Yeah.
That's great.
That's
So if you look in the background, I'm a Gray Blair.
Yeah.
Did you play Ben Affleck's abs?
I played. I played
overlay.
I played the right oblique.
Is it that one or the other one? That's the movie that he's just for. They just cut. There's just a cut to him just doing like shirtless chin up,
Yeah.
Those are the
overhand chin, like the harder ones.
It's the same thing in the new Thor. I saw it this past weekend, and this is not a spoiler. Well, maybe it is a little bit, but it's not going to ruin anything for the plot. It's just like exposition, and all of a sudden, Chris Hemsworth just washing his chest with like a cloth, and there's no dialogue. It's like 10 seconds, then it cuts away, and apparently that was something that they mandated.
There's no.
Yeah, there's no. It's the Asgard charity car wash. We gotta raise money to rebuild the Rainbow Road.
Purple's broke.
Yeah,
That's how I work out, though.
There's a big crack in purple. in the
Loki,
rainbow.
get the undercarriage.
That's the only place I work out, though, is in my closet with a mirror in front of me and a light overhead, just so
Yeah.
just so it
in your
looks,
walk-in closet. Yeah.
just so I can see how toned my abs are getting. I just
have fun.
I would pick up so many more girls at the beach if like someone was walking behind me holding a light over my head. Cool. Well, we start the show off with facts about the guest generally, and we've mentioned that you're from the Arkansas area.
Yep.
What do you have any other facts that you can share about you or things you've learned recently that might mind blow the audience?
Oh wow. I mean, I didn't come prepared with like a binder of facts.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Binder
This
full of
is-
women.
I blew it.
Dr. T's
It's all right, just
binder
a-
full of
Dr.
women. Isn't that a
T's
movie?
Something,
binder full of women.
yeah, something people might not know about you. Something might not know about your hometown. Something just or something you learned recently.
Yeah.
Something I learned.
This is like the lowest
recently.
stakes.
lowest.
No,
I
don't
know.
feel pressured.
This is like that game when somebody asks you who your favorite band is, and all of a sudden you've never heard music before.
Yeah, I'm like, Smash Biscuit.
Oh, it is Smash Mouth, though. You're right. That was you intuited correctly. My favorite band is Smash Mouth.
I had a feeling.
A lot of people probably don't know that.
I see you as an Astro Lounge
Huge
man.
fan of DreamWorks movies and
yeah.
sing along at the end.
Yep. I recently remodeled a house.
Oh, wow, okay.
Wow. Is this the first time you've remodeled?
It is. Yeah, first time I had a house. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
How did
exciting.
was it like what we see on TV? Like
No, it took more than 8 days.
Okay. It took more than 40 minutes.
There were no subplots with me fighting with other people on the job.
Yeah.
Came up.
The designer and the head construction guy didn't
They all
have
got along.
spats.
Nah, they got along pretty well.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to create a reality show called Will They Get This Done in Time?
It's 1
They
minute.
will.
Yes.
Spoiler, they will.
Spoiler alert, they do.
Yeah. No, I think the reality shows have completely like Extreme Makeover, Home Edition have completely ruined like your perception going into remodeling something.
Of course.
You're like, oh, 8 days.
Yeah.
They can do this in 8 days,
Yeah.
but it's like 4 months.
Yeah, exactly.
You're looking at like 4 months.
If you want it done right. We can get it done in 8 days. You're not going to like it.
Right.
This is mostly balsa wood and backdrops.
I always wondered that it couldn't be that sturdy.
Yeah. Well,
Like you couldn't even let the like paint and plaster and shit dry in like 8 days.
No.
Like you have to spend like a few days just letting things kind of dry sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not them.
No.
Speaking of days, while we're on the topic of how long days are, here's a weird fact for you guys.
Go on.
Each day on Mercury, the planet Mercury, lasts as long as 58 Earth days. Which is interesting because 1 year, an orbital period for on Mercury, is actually only 88 days. Because it has almost no atmosphere to retain heat, Mercury's surface experiences the greatest temperature variation of all planets as well. And it's Mercury, I guess, it goes around the Earth. It goes around the sun. From what I understand, a day on Mercury is faster than a year because of the rotation.
It's like the dog
I
years
see.
of days.
Yeah, like a day is it's faster for the Mercury goes around Mercury spins faster than, I guess, if I'm reading this correctly.
Yeah, it's
I'm not very smart. But yes.
There must be some kind of vampire movie to set on Mercury, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Vampires of Mercury.
Yeah.
It sounds
Well,
that sounds
They can
like
only come out every now and then. I mean, just the
That sounds like a
days.
Mars Volta album or something.
Right.
That's gotta be like a YA novel somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so a year on Mercury is only 88 Earth days, and a day on Mercury is 58 days. So it's
You don't
only
mean when
38.
you're on the drug Mercury. You mean,
Yeah, when you're cracking open thermometers just to get that silver rush.
when you're making hats in the 1800s.
Yeah, you're eating your body weight in tuna.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a weird fact. Look that up, and you guys are way smarter than me over there, listeners. So you'll be able to understand that more. But yeah, a day on Mercury is pretty long.
Speaking of long days, I have to imagine that the final day of the Titanic's voyage was pretty.
nice segue.
Yeah, thank you. I tried to make it pretty seamless.
There were no edits, folks. That was all
Yeah,
done
no,
live.
that's off
We did
the
all
old-
that live.
That's I like to keep it organic, like so much kale or quinoa.
Hey, speaking of kale, real quick, I was reading broccoli and cauliflower and all those weird vegetables are actually all derived from a form of kale. They're all man-made, genetically engineered from a form of kale.
They're all sons of kale.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like cauliflower didn't exist until
Until somebody spliced some kale atoms or whatever and made cauliflower. Same with broccoli.
like when did this happen? What year are we talking?
Oh, I'm not a scientist.
You don't have this information
I don't have
ready?
this information ready. Aristotle will look it up for us, though.
Okay.
He's our producer in the studio today. I'm not sure, but I was reading not too long ago. It's all a form of various kales that they
Yeah.
genetically engineer flowers and all that. They don't actually broccoli wasn't actually like a plant that
They grew in nature.
that grew in nature. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that is
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's that's a new thing I've learned.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts to the question earlier about new information I've learned.
This thing about kale.
Thing about kale. Yeah. Okay, let's start over.
gonna put
So
that
I
on the
learned
list.
about kale.
Cut this in at the beginning.
Anyways, Dan, you were mentioning about the Titanic.
Yeah,
before
so
you-
back to horrific tragedies and thousands of people dying. Titanic, unsinkable. It's never going to sink. Turns out it did. Everyone was sad. But, there's a lot of people on the ship, and one person who was on the ship that we discovered is Isidore Strauss, one of the owners of Macy's.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's after that, ownership of the company passed through his family until 1895, when it was acquired by his family, his brother Nathan Strauss. They held a license to sell china and other goods to Macy's previously, but he and his wife, unfortunately, that Macy's money went to waste on
Macy's
a
money
nice
went
long
to
cruise.
Are you implying that J.R. Bloomingdale may have had some hand in the Titanic?
I think so, which raises the question of who shot J.R.
Who sunk J.R.?
Henry Nordstrom.
Henry Nordstrom. Yeah, Nordstrom planted the iceberg. Nordstrom. also-
Reginald Sears and Carlos Ropa.
All that Nordstrom money.
Carlos Ropa.
It was an alias.
That's great.
It's on the run.
Sears and Carlos.
Did you see that they're doing... Carlos made me think of Carlos Danger, the Anthony Weiner thing. They're doing like a Law and Order episode next week where I know they do like the rip from the headlines thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty like close analog. But they're calling the guy like...
Carlos?
It was so close. No, it
Like
was like...
Tony Penis.
No, it was like Enrique Excitement or something like that.
That's not even...
I hope that's it.
Like it was such a like...
That's a
They're
wrestler
not even
name.
trying.
I know. You'd think there'd be... Come on, writer's room. I know you have to churn out a lot of this, but there's got to be something better than Enrique Excitement.
It's not literally Enrique Excitement. That
Yeah.
was,
Carl Violence.
it was Enrique something, though, I think.
That's funny. I love how they I love how they can get away with ripping from the headlines and not have to, like, if you make a biography or something, you need to, or when you make movies, at the end of a movie, you always need to put, this work was based on fiction, da-da-da-da. But yet, how Law and Order can just totally rip off somebody's story and make it a parody.
Clearly,
It's
what,
clearly
is
from
it, do parody laws covered? How do they get away with
I
that?
wonder. I think maybe parody, but it's also
It's not a
inspired
parody,
by a true story because it's like.
Yeah, but you still got to pay rights, I believe, at some point, right?
I don't know.
I don't. If you change enough, I feel like
Can you
get
put a
away
price
with
on
it.
inspiration?
Yeah. People are like, well, I'd rather just watch more Law and Order than sue them. So, what else would I watch in waiting rooms across the country?
Law and Order season 3010.
Yeah.
I wonder if all the
39.
CSIs are pulled from inspired by true events. Like
Yeah,
they're just-
Justin Bieber was actually shot to
there's
death in the desert.
all this semen in all these people's mouths and ears.
Right?
All these every dead body just has semen everywhere.
Based on what I've heard about hotels, Nothing is not covered in jizz. Don't take off the duvet cover.
They don't have to wash the
quilt.
comforter.
Yeah.
I found that out recently. There's something.
I went to a hotel
I read that
recently.
The hotels do not, under law, have to wash the comforters or the
Okay.
duvet covers,
Yeah.
and so they don't.
That's why
though
I don't.
I went to one recently where they had a little note. They're like, just so you know, we do wash our quilts and duvet covers. I was like, that's amazing. Thank you for not leaving me.
Did they leave a black light in the room?
I will never room raid anything I walk into. Some things are not meant to be known by the likes of men.
Well, that's like I got this. Somebody emailed me a couple days ago. This website, a link to this website where you can give them your address and they'll tell you if anybody's been murdered in your home.
Yeah, I've heard about this. You pay like $20 or something.
It's like $12, not even.
God.
It's like $11.95. But what's no? There's no upside.
Yeah, exactly.
The best case scenario is like, yeah, nobody's been murdered here, but the downside potential is so enormous.
Yeah. Not only has one person been
And all
murdered
these houses
here.
out here are like 100 years old. Like,
Yeah.
It's like consulting Tobin's spirit guide in Ghostbusters and finding out your house has been a sacrificial grounds.
I wish they'd mentioned that when I was leasing this place.
yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I guess there's no downside, but that's why I'm the weird person who I'll take anytime I travel to a hotel or whatever. I'll either take my own pillowcase, my own pillow,
I always
or
take a
like
pillow.
I'll take a whole blanket just to because I really don't need blankets. I just need something to cover me up to help me sleep. So I'll just
Like a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I just slather my body in a thin coat of, antiseptic. So I just roll with it and
Like-
slide around like a slip and slide.
See,
on
but
the
that's
thing.
like
Like the chicken Goldfinger.
Exactly.
You just paint yourself
Yeah.
with a
I love
Purell.
gold.
That's also why when I go to hotels, I have no problem jerking off on the comforters
Because I know.
because I know they don't need to wash them. I'm like, fuck these guys.
Yeah, it's something about the Great Melting Pot of the United States.
It's a great melting pot.
You should have brought your own blanket next person to rent this room.
You're a walking cautionary tale.
Because now I know if you do it, everybody's done it.
Yeah.
Just
Well, he does the
standing
comforter.
on the bed.
I do inside the minibar.
And for $12, there's a website that'll tell you if somebody jerked off.
HotelJerkOff.com.
HotelJerkOff.com.
I always feel like the remote control in the hotel rooms has to probably be like the
Dirtiest.
secret dirtiest thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Or the
point.
phone. Like,
Because you're totally. Because you're exclusively it's people using their hands. And
Yeah.
I feel this way kind of about shaking hands to some extent. Like you might as well just shake penises
yeah,
because everybody's touched their penis.
constantly.
And then shake your
I'm
hand.
doing it right now.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
well, I mean,
interesting.
usually I'd rather, your mouth is already filled with germs, so I just open doorknobs with my mouth. It's just seems safer. Keep all the
impressive.
germs in one place.
What if it's like an oversized doorknob,
I unhinge my jaw like a snake.
right?
Yeah, and then just go to town.
Wow.
That's why there's like you ever go to those the doors on like buildings or whatever that'll have like one giant like a huge doorknob where it's like a long pole or something. Anytime I come across those, I'll just reach up as high as I can
Or
and
down
open
real-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the standard is waist high length that people will open it. So
Yeah.
I'll just try and open it from as high as I can just to
You don't have great leverage like that. It's a very heavy door. That's tricky.
I'm not walking in any castles or anything like that.
Just won't go into those buildings.
I read yesterday, speaking of castles. See, now I'm coming up with stuff that I've learned recently.
Absolutely.
It's coming out in conversation.
That's what we do.
Yeah, moats are kind of back in style.
Oh,
Yes, Tom Brady. His
Yeah,
house in
yeah.
Los Angeles has a
Uh-huh.
moat.
Now, I saw that one and like 3 other examples. Like moats are back.
Yeah, were you also on curbed.com?
Maybe.
I feel like
a-
it's
it's
an
a-
American
it's
history
a real
expert.
estate website.
Yeah, it's a
not-
real estate. It's a real estate / hate crime website. Chronicles the best of both worlds.
I love Curb because it's like the commenters on it all the articles are like really hilarious usually.
Yeah.
Like it's like as hateful as like generic YouTube comments,
But
but they're a little smarter. Like it's like
they're
people that
they're
kind
pithier.
of right. It's people that I don't know are in the real estate world but still full of hatred.
Yeah. I'm glad they're using their powers for good.
Yeah.
Check out the color they painted their walls. What a douchebag.
It's just a lot of bad mouthing other neighborhoods,
Yeah.
which is like a huge LA sport anyway.
Oh, of
like,
course, yeah.
Eat a dick bay windows.
How Brentwood.
Here's an interesting fact. I don't know if you guys seen recently. I believe there's a Subway commercial recently, but there was also more famously, obviously Twitter and the new Chris Hardwick show Midnight has a hashtag game on Twitter, and Jimmy Fallon also had it with Justin Timberlake had a really funny sketch about vocally saying hashtags and all that. Which Subway's got to be very upset because they have a new commercial where the guy's like eating and he's like, oh, hashtag this, hashtag that. And they worked on that commercial way longer than Jimmy Fallon's people did. And now it's like Jimmy Fallon already did it. But anyways, hashtag, which is the pound sign, also known as the number sign, also known as the tic-tac-toe board, it originally was named the octothorpe.
Rolls off the tongue.
The octothorpe. And the origin is disputed, but it's reportedly a jocular coinage by Bell Labs supervisor Don McPherson in the early 1960s from octo, meaning 8, with a reference to its 8 points, and thorpe, after 1912 Olympic medalist Jim Thorpe, in whom McPherson was interested. Yet,
What does that mean, in whom McPherson was interested?
that's what I was curious about as well.
He was Octothorpe.
He was a
team
huge fan.
Thorpe.
It was a huge fan. Like, if I invented something, if I would have invented this, it would be the Octo Cage, obviously named after Nick Cage, because I'm very interested in Nick Cage.
See, my brain
Who
would be...
also has castles. Well, he sold his castles because he went
He
bankrupt.
sold his castle, he sold his comic books.
Yeah, he sells everything. But another common belief about the name for Octothorpe is for the ancient sign for numbering derives from Thorpe. It's the Old Norse word for a village or farm that is often seen in British place names. The symbol was originally used in map making, representing a village surrounded by 8 fields. So it was named the Octothorpe, literally meaning 8 fields on map making back in the day.
So it either derived from
Thor.
Norse cartography or
An Olympic gold medal.
Jim Thorpe.
Yeah.
But I really wish that terminology stuck around because Octothorpe is way more fun to say than hashtag.
Yeah. Octothorpe, movies that end in poop or whatever.
What are the things on on all the British stuff, like above every pub over there? The portcullis, is that what they're called?
Portcullis, the iron wrought gate that
But
comes
there's
down.
it's 4 things by 4, right? It's kind of a similar shape, right?
I'm not sure. I've never been to that country.
When it said obviously in British place names,
It could be very similar. It could be a very
similar origin.
similar origin as far as map.
Maybe completely unrelated. I don't know.
But
I'm watching Vikings, the History Channel series right now, so I will keep you
So
guys
that's
posted.
that's just like a dramatic series. Right?
Yeah,
That's
it's a dramatic series, loosely based in history. I think they trace the overall arcs, right?
Yeah.
But it's more of hey, what if we just slapped some Game of Thrones action in a
Is that kinda
Viking
what it's
setting?
like?
It's awesome. I'm really enjoying the show.
If you like that, did you ever see the guy that directed Drive, Nicholas Winding?
Refn?
Is it Ren or Rev?
I don't know. I'm pronouncing it like I'm reading it
I've
literally.
never heard anyone say it out loud. I keep waiting for somebody to say it so I can just pick it up without looking dumb.
I think it's easier to say that Drive guy.
Yeah, anyway,
the guy did Drive.
the talented director
And
of
Only
Drive,
God Forgives.
which I loved.
I haven't seen it yet. I
I'm the
heard that
only
Ryan
person
Gosling
I've
only says
ever-
7 words.
Yeah, but what 7 words?
Yeah.
No, it's great. I loved it. I think that guy's a genius. But he made a movie about Vikings that was really bananas.
Really?
It's the guy that was the villain in Casino Royale that has the blood tear.
Oh, Le Chiffre, Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, yeah. He's
was
the lead guy.
He was a Viking in it.
He is. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really exhausting,
And as we learned
3
last
hours on
week, that
Netflix.
phenomenon where you can't remember a word or name is called lethologica.
Yeah.
Lethal Logica?
Yeah,
Why does it have lethal?
Letho, maybe I'm
okay.
mispronouncing it, but
Okay.
yeah, it's a weird phenomenon where you can't.
When you can't
Valhalla
remember
Rising.
Valhalla Rising.
Yes.
It's the phrase for when you can't remember what you're talking about, like the title
Right,
of the movie
right.
or
It's on the tip of your tongue
Yeah.
phenomenon.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie or those movies. I've seen Drive. I haven't seen that other one though. Or Vikings. I haven't watched that, but I like Vikings. I'll have to check that out.
If you're into Vikings, you're gonna like Vikings.
I'm enjoying the way that this diverges into different topics.
Yeah, it's pretty freewheeling.
I was on the, not to brag, but in high school I was on the Quiz Bowl team.
Oh, very nice.
Captain
okay.
of the Quiz Bowl team, so this is...
Fun fact.
Right, this
I
is
love
up your alley.
trivia. Yeah, it's right up my
exactly.
alley.
It's it's just kind of.
I'm still thinking about the Octothorpe, to be honest. I just love that. I love how it went from the number sign to the pound sign, and then Twitter kind of took
Yeah.
over, and it just took it as a hashtag now.
Hash Phelps.
Yeah,
Who invented the term hashtag?
it's probably Twitter. Somebody on Twitter. I don't know. It's a good question.
Because I'd never heard that until Twitter. I'd always just heard pound.
Yeah, pound sign, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
On Wikipedia, I remember clicking when I was looking for when I found this information on Octothorpe, I clicked on hashtag pound sign and number sign, and all it said, it was like very non-detailed origins. So the only one with an actual origin was the Octothorpe.
According to Wikipedia, the Wikipedia page for hashtag, the first use of the term hashtag was in a blog post by Stowe Boyd entitled Hashtags Equal Twitter Groupings on August 26, 2007. According to the chair of the American Dialect Society's New Words Committee.
Cool.
So it is a new word.
Yeah, 2007, so it's only 6 years old. Wow. Yeah.
That's interesting. Now,
What an age we live in.
Let's just marvel at how fluid language is, you guys.
It's a bootylicious concept.
Yeah, let's...
Bootylicious. Can I tell you how much I love Destiny's Child? Is it wrong that I like Destiny's Child? I think it is.
All their songs are awesome.
They're so catchy. Bootylicious is good.
Listen.
Oh, man. I don't think we're ready for this jelly.
I've always thought Kelly Rowland should have had a bigger solo career.
She's having a bit of a resurgence now.
It seems like that happened a few years ago. She kind of almost broke through big, and now it's happening again.
Yeah, I think every couple of years she tries to make it through. Then Beyonce, uses whatever blood of her she has left to keep the curse at its full strength.
Beyonce is like the Highlander of Destiny's Child. It's like, there could be only one.
They killed the fourth one right away.
There was a fourth one?
There was a fourth. There's an apocryphal Destiny's Child.
Oh my god.
Like off the first album.
Was she like attached to one of the other ones? Like
Yeah, legend has it that at the end of days she will reemerge with the Titans to battle with TLC.
Or like
and
when
Destiny's
Professor X
Child.
had the twin and
With Cassandra Nova. Yes.
Cassandra Nova, yeah.
That arc is so good.
Yeah, I read that again recently. The whole
same here, man.
New X-Men.
Yeah,
you got the omnibus.
Yes. Oh, I have all the little like trade paperbacks,
I had all the single
them.
issues, but all my comics are so like
they take up so much space.
It's
there's got to be a better way.
Well, I've stopped. I've like actively over the last few years protested single floppy issues.
Yeah.
Just
trade paperbacks are the way to go.
The whole
nowadays.
thing has to they just have to change the whole distribution system. Like it doesn't, and they're trying with the digital thing, but I hate reading comics on the iPad. It's not the same thing.
See, I just read the story on Wikipedia. I just read the plot synopsis on Wikipedia.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
Oh, that's so grim. That's so grim.
Man, that's a really cool story. I'll find out what happens on Wikipedia in half the time.
You know what I did that's almost
and still be able to talk about it with nerds because I'm a nerd as well. Like I'm a huge Batman fan and all that. I like comic books.
We're in a comic store right
exactly.
now.
Yeah.
I love comic books and I love all the stories and superheroes. But I generally know all the trivia because I read. You know, I read about this stuff on the internet.
You know what you should get? Previews magazine they have down here.
Yeah.
I called this is a fact I learned last week.
Okay.
Previews will not give you a subscription. They will not send the magazine to your home.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to get it at a comic
email
book shop?
exchanges. You have to go to a comic store.
That's weird.
It's really cool though because they want comic book stores to thrive and continue.
They do.
That makes sense. Aren't they backed by Diamond?
Yeah. So they're technically a wholesaler, so they can't sell you anything directly.
And for those of you who don't know, Diamond is essentially the number one distributor in the country. I think there are some smaller ones. I just read Marvel: The Untold Story recently, which if you haven't read it, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Those oral history books like that are always fun.
Yeah. Especially, it's a really cool look behind the scenes of Marvel from its origins all the way through present day, which, it's amazing to see how they've turned things around since the beginning, now with this movie empire.
Oh, man, yeah. I just seen that Captain America trailer today for Winter Soldier 2 or Winter Soldier.
How is that?
It's fantastic.
It looks way better. I enjoyed Captain America 1. I didn't love it. I liked I liked it.
Yeah.
But this new one looks. I'm a huge Chris Evans fan, and it looks awesome.
It's a really like it looks like a really spot on adaptation of Brubaker and Steve Epstein's run.
It's got fucking Robert Redford in it, dude. The Sting. Like I'm a huge Redford fan.
My buddy Sebastian plays the Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan, that was in Hot Tub.
Oh, no way.
And so I just can't take him that seriously. Like every time I see him, I start laughing.
You're like, you're. Hey, Bucky.
No, because he's such a funny dude.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever because he only does like dramatic stuff.
Okay.
But he's such a goofy, funny dude in real life.
Yeah, I remember I spoke to him one time on a press line, and he was just he was very silly, but I was like, I did not expect this.
He's the funniest guy.
Oh, that's funny. We should
maybe the movie's gonna take a turn. He takes Shield hostage and does
Here's
7
the deal.
minute of stand up.
I feel like it'll be great.
Chris Evans can be funny too. So
Yeah,
that'd
he's
be-
really funny.
that'd be
Yeah.
fucking
Really funny guy.
Hopefully they'll have at least some comic relief. And they're like in the Thor 2 trailer. I just watched the Part 2 trailer when for the new Thor, and at the very end of it or whatever, there's that big stone monster and
Oh, yeah.
whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh, you can have him" or whatever, and he knocks him down right away, and Thor's just like, "Anybody else?" Like, I love stupid cocky comic relief in those movies.
And it abounds, especially in the Marvel movies. Here's something else that's funny. Speaking of funny things,
Speaking of
making a
funny
seamless transition.
God, you're just
Beverly
killing it
Hills High School. Beverly Hills High School sounds like a TV show. Might be. But for today, we're just talking about the high school. It receives some of its funding from on-campus oil wells.
Yes, it does.
It has a cluster of 19 oil wells on a single drilling island in the middle of their campus, owned by Vinoco Incorporated. It can be seen by drivers heading west on Olympic Boulevard toward Century City, which, as you may know, is where Die Hard takes place.
Oh, yes, Nakatomi Plaza.
So they've pumped a lot of the oil from under the campus. There's been a lot of slant drilling in regions on the western part of the Beverly Hills oil field. But they've been pumping about 400 to 500 barrels a day, and it earned the school about $300,000 a year in royalties just for having these oil wells in the middle of their campus, which is
there was
staggering to think about.
Got to start drilling on all these caps.
That reminds me. There was
There's going to be a lot of ruined sewer lines and power cables slashed in two.
That was it reminds me of two things. It reminds me that there was an episode of Saved by the Bell, which was probably based on that where they were trying to oil company wanted to come in and drill on Bayside's football field and on that. And it also reminds me of
Did
a
the
website.
kids not want them to?
Yeah, they didn't want to.
They were against
They
it?
put they did a whole presentation where they showed that it would be bad for it and all.
Man, they really are on that fracking bandwagon before school.
Actually, if I remember, I think they started drilling in it. It made like a big ducks and animals.
I was just saying, I bet there was a duck with some oil on it.
Yeah.
I bet there was a duck with some oil.
There was.
Man, that must
now that I
have
remember.
really resonated with Lisa Tuttle.
Lisa Turtle. Not to correct you.
I'm speaking in italics.
Speaking in italics. But that also reminds me of a website my brother showed me a couple years ago. There's a website out there that has, in major cities across the United States and across the world, there are oil wells drilling, and there's actually false facades. Like the government and the oil drilling places will put up fake buildings.
Really?
Just to hide the oil drilling and make it pretty. Because in the heart of Los Angeles, there's oil wells all over the city.
If you go over like La Cienega and La Brea, south towards
when you're driving towards the airport,
you can see a lot of them. But there's ones inside the town that are just hidden in fake structures.
That's awesome.
So that's why there's so many shitty donut shops that look like they're not selling anything. Yum yum, I know what your secret is.
So the oil companies took the mob's lead on fronts.
Yeah. They're watching a bunch of Godfather movies.
How do we
should
put a building over it?
I don't know. Get some fucking wood.
Build a building.
You watch pictures. You watch pictures. Put up some props.
Sir, no one calls them pictures.
Nobody calls them pictures anymore.
You watch them talkies, huh?
We were recently fucking 5 minutes ago we were talking about how there was somebody Marvel or whatever, there only being one distributor. Here's something about only being one. Now Clark, you'll be able to probably correct me on this if this is outdated, but this fact is from a couple years ago.
Okay.
You're a wrestling fan.
I am.
I'm half wrestling fan. I like the main wrestlers from my childhood, and I know about wrestling and etc. But on April 29th of 1985, Hulk Hogan became the first professional wrestler to grace the cover of Sports Illustrated. And according to this that I'm reading this article, it's a feat that to this day none of his peers has managed to match. So from what I understand, Hulk Hogan is the only professional wrestler to grace the cover of Sports Illustrated.
They never featured X-Pac or Triple H.
Man. X-Pac. We were talking before we started recording about Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast,
Yes.
how great it is. There was an episode last week he interviewed X-Pac.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they talking all about the whole D-Generation X era?
I had to turn... They are, but I had to turn off because X-Pac recently, he tells this story about... He does a bunch of indie shows, where they're wrestling in high school gymnasiums, like The Wrestler and stuff. And he did this move called the Bronco Buster, where he'd set a guy up in the corner and he would run and essentially just looks like you're just humping the dude's face. I never understood the logic of how it would just hurt your tailbone,
Yeah.
I think it's maybe it's just a demoralizing move more than anything. But anyway,
like the stink face.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, he was doing that and somehow hit his ass on the turnbuckle or something and ripped his anus.
Oh God!
And it's like, that's not a thing like you can put a tourniquet on.
Yeah.
So he almost died. Like, he bled out so much he almost died.
Oh my God!
And it was, the story was so gruesome.
That's like the beginning of like, and it ends with him getting a Darwin Award. Like that's
He lived.
yeah, he lived through
lived.
an ass-rending feat of athleticism
Yeah.
or athleticism.
Athleticism. Yeah.
There we go. We got there.
Now, Clark, I know you wear glasses and I wear glasses, and you were spraying something on your glasses earlier to clean them, and I mentioned that I just used my breath, etc. Whatever. Glasses. We both wear glasses. There is apparently a company called Luxottica. And what's interesting about Luxottica is apparently over 80% of the world's eyewear manufacturing is and the retailer brands are owned and operated by Luxottica. Luxottica is the main reason why glasses are so expensive. Apparently, Luxottica's two main product offerings are sunglasses and prescription frames, and the company operates in two sectors: manufacturing and wholesale distribution. Now, in these glasses that Luxottica they create, they manufacture, and they sell, and they license, are some of the biggest companies and glass
Ones I wear.
brands.
They've got
Oliver
Ray-Ban,
Peoples.
they've got Oakley, Oliver
They've got
Peoples,
Vogue.
Persol.
They've got Vogue, they got Burberry, they got Chanel,
Paul
Coach,
Smith.
Dolce and Gabbana,
Yeah, they have a ton of licenses too.
DKNY, all of these, Versace, Tiffany and Company.
But maybe they
make and manufacture all of these glasses, and they just slap the brand name on it.
But I don't think that's but like the Oliver Peoples company. I mean, maybe they own all of them now, but I don't think like look up Oliver Peoples. Somebody Wikipedia that, because I felt like it was founded by like two guys in L.A.
They could have bought it though.
They could have bought it,
or it was founded by two guys in L.A.
who sold it to these guys.
And they sold it to Luxottica, or they founded it in L.A. and they just hire Luxottica to manufacture the glasses.
Right. But maybe the individual companies are still designing the frames.
Could be, and Luxottica just is the parent company.
Maybe they just like finance it.
And
it says it is a subsidiary of the Luxottica Group, but you're right, it was established 1986 by Larry Late in West Hollywood. It was acquired in 2006. Oakley acquired it actually in 2006, so I think that's how it was brought into the fold.
Wow, so Luxottica just goes around buying up all these.
Seems like if they owned all of them, they could make them cheaper instead of more expensive.
Yeah, but
I guess that's not how monopolies
less money
work.
for exactly. Like why aren't they benevolent kind glasses distributors?
I mean, I've played Monopoly with some friends of mine, and they think the object of the game is to lose all their
It's
money.
to share.
Yeah.
So
Everybody just kind of do okay.
You can rent my house for $1. Don't
If
worry
we
about
all own, a little property, we can just play for indefinitely.
Exactly. Yeah. Why don't we just settle down here and start a nice
playing.
life? Create a community.
That's funny. That's why I purchased, believe it or not, I purchased my glasses off of a website on the internet, and they're all like $30.
The Warby Parkers?
I buy mine from Zenni Optical.
I don't even know this one.
It's a ZENNI optical.com, and you just punch in your prescription.
But don't you need to try frames on?
No. I mean, for these glasses I have now cost me $20, and I can't...
With the prescription?
Yep, with the prescription. They're plastic, and this pair of glasses... I get the most compliments on. Like every night, I get at least one compliment on this pair of glasses by girls, by dudes, preferably girls. But they compliment my glasses, and they cost me $20. And the thing about that
Do you buy
is,
like 8 pairs? Just throw them, leave them in the car.
I have a pair in my car. I have a pair in my car. I have a pair in my living room. I have a pair all over, just because I tend to break and lose glasses a lot.
Right.
But for $20. I can.
Yeah, you don't feel as bad when like.
No wonder you're cleaning them on your shirt.
You know what I mean?
On them.
And I can you can accessorize with way more things. And you can upload a picture and try them on. But for $20, if they don't fit, they don't fit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
feel like I just have a real specific head, but I have to try stuff on.
Yeah, if they don't fit, it's $20.
I have like 8 pairs of these at this point, just because every time you do a show or a movie or anything, they have to get duplicates.
Okay.
Just in case, like I sat on them or something.
Yeah.
So I just have a box at home with like 5 pairs of these,
Oh wow!
like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
So the ones you
like
actually
when
use,
Doug opens his wardrobe,
No,
and
it
it's
is.
just all the like sweater vest and shorts.
That's pretty much my closet. Just pairs of glasses, Comme des Garçons sweaters.
So the glasses you wear in the movies you're in are actually prescription. They're not just fake
Yeah, no,
glasses.
these are real.
That's interesting because I always thought
They're not CG'd on.
Well, I mean,
they don't do that in
I
post.
just wear a green frame.
Yeah.
I wear a green box on my head, and
They just take care of the rest.
I didn't realize. I've read stories where they'll have frameless glasses or whatever in
Right.
movies. And
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if they just
In the LeBron
no,
James
mine are
story.
real. Mine are real.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's movie magic, folks.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I feel like the fake glasses would be like if I just had like a wheelchair to accessorize with.
Yeah. I'm actually just a fan of sitting.
Like I'm not wearing, I'm not wearing these just because I like them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the spokes go well with my cardigan.
Now you could wear contacts in the movies, though, right? You
I've
could wear
tried. I
contacts.
can't stand it.
Yeah.
It feels like you have
Glass
like
in your eyes?
12 eyelashes spread across each eye.
Oof.
I don't know. I tried. I have an astigmatism in one eye, which
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they bug me.
Are you're gonna get LASIK at some point?
I might. I keep having the thought in my head of like, well, the longer you wait, the better it's gonna get. Like the
Yeah.
LASIK, like they'll get more and more.
Yeah, better lasers.
Better lasers.
My theory.
I don't know. Maybe eventually. Yeah, probably eventually.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
scary because
my-
like every so often someone just goes blind from it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm waiting until the singularity hits and they can just put my brain in a robot
Right.
body.
Right. My aunt and uncle got LASIK though, and it was like perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
but both
I know
my-
a ton of people that have done it. I mean,
Both my folks got it, and it works well for them.
do you have any night blindness or any like? There's all these weird side effects you can get.
Yeah, not to my knowledge, just night terrors
I think
And,
they may have had something else done.
and day terrors.
just terror.
just a general creeping sense of terror.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They surgically implanted visions in their eyes
Yeah.
that reoccur holograms. Like
Yeah.
when you see a certain light, just a certain glare pops in.
Every fifth blink is the Pazuzu exorcist face.
Every time they walk by a window, they see a cardboard cutout of Ted Danson. We mentioned Beverly Hills. A fact about Beverly Hills having hidden oil wells in there. Here's a fun fact about New York City. Until 1953, New York City had a pneumatic tube mail network that spanned 27 miles and connected 23 post offices. At its peak, the system moved around 95,000 letters. 95,000 letters a day. A pneumatic tube system, which is
Like a Futurama.
yeah,
Yeah.
like on Futurama or like that new the Hyperloop.
Or just,
on-
or just
Amendment.
any steampunk's fan fiction.
Right.
Which is also funny, too, because subnote on this pneumatic tube invention, until early 2011, a McDonald's in Andina, Minnesota, claimed to be the world's only pneumatic air drive-through, sending food through their strip mall location to a drive-through in the middle of the parking lot.
I feel like that could
That's
end
pretty fun.
disastrously if you
Yeah.
don't like get it right. Like you just have fish fillets shooting out of there like cheesy little torpedoes.
They send you instead of glasses of soda, they send you cans of soda that you need to wait 5 minutes before opening so it doesn't splatter on you.
It's like
Tap
a ball
the top.
game. Can I get that plastic beer?
Oh yeah.
Or like on Back to the Future when the Pepsi pops up, the Pepsi free, or whatever that fucking blue Pepsi was in Back to the Future 2.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's pretty neat.
It's funny because I've seen in even some older buildings here in Los Angeles.
banks still use them.
Yeah, I've seen them in some apartment buildings. Like even my uncle's apartment building in New York. They have a tube thing, but don't put anything down there because it's probably just full of rat corpses by now.
Right. Or human corpses.
Yeah, exactly. People were smaller back then. Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, I'd be so worried about putting stuff in there and just it going to the wrong place.
Yeah, I don't
So
even
many-
know.
There's a
Like, I understand how
there's a
banks
that's what
work
she
because
said
it's.
joke there somewhere.
Yeah,
I understand how banks work because there's.
this was
individual
addressed to the
tubes,
clitoris. It's clearly labeled.
But to have 23 different post offices sending them out throughout the city, that's like a lot of tube systems.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even. That would just confuse me.
Yeah, then you have to get if the tube gets jammed, you have to go down to the sewer and fend off all the mole people.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
well,
you
Ninja
guys might know
Turtles aren't
this.
real.
Well, we'll circle back to that. Are the sewers underneath cities like New York like they're portrayed in like comic books
Oh, that's a good
and
question.
cartoons? You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
like Batman or somebody's always down a sewer.
And there's
Is there really this like?
There's always walkways
Yeah, are
and
there really all
giant
these like
shit
paths?
rivers.
And do they have like 18-foot ceilings and like beautiful,
I don't know. I feel
beautiful
like-
like molding and brick masonry work and
secret
I feel like
passages.
some of
is this
them-
real? Like
I
I know
feel like
like
some of
I know
them
in
are.
like Paris there's like catacombs and
Yeah.
all that stuff, but are the sewers under New York really?
I'd be willing to bet that is I'd say it's like 70% accurate. Maybe it's not as like.
And how did we when they were
Cavernous?
building the city where they're like, all right, well, we got to add about 12 feet here and then we'll build the city on top of this.
Yeah, well, I think they probably
There's-
realized they had to when they got a handle on sewage and all that. I feel like they realized they had to have enough room for the volume of sewage that it would create.
Isn't New York like built on a old city though? Didn't I feel like I've read places
Built on the
where,
ashes of New Amsterdam.
I feel like I've read and seen photos where they've built up on like another level of like old subways or old buildings that
I don't know.
back
That's
in the
what
day.
I'm asking.
I'm
Like,
not sure, but that definitely I feel like there has to be some truth to it if everybody has that preconceived notion that you
Right.
can walk around under there. Now I do remember seeing, back in the like when I was younger and seeing construction on sewers, I do remember seeing giant pipes that were at least 5 feet.
Oh yeah, big culverts
in circumference that you could walk through if you duck. But I also remember like small sewers. But we're talking about like the like basements.
where Batman's fighting. people.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
Batman's
that's what
fighting
I
people,
wanna-
He's
or
going up.
Yeah,
He's going
where
toe to toe
there's
with Killer Croc.
where there's like a giant cylinder that has
Yeah, the big cylinder.
the big cylinder that like has 18 different pipes just dumping
Yeah.
into it.
Yes.
If
That's
anybody-
what I want to know.
If anybody listening works in that field or has
Do we have phones?
photos,
Can they call in? This
Yeah,
is live, right?
listeners, please call in right now.
Please call
Be
in
sure to
right
use
now.
Octothorpe sewage facts
as
so
you're
we can find it.
Yeah. If anybody listening has any info on that, that'd be curious. I mean, we could just Google it when we get home.
Actually,
But
you know what,
I'm
guys?
gonna give my home phone number on the pod, and if anybody has anything, just call me.
I'm actually going to New York this weekend, so I'm going
down
to
there.
take an
down there.
investigative. Sorry, Disney's Frozen. I've got a sewer mission to go on.
What is Frozen?
It's their new animated movie, a new Disney Princess, the musical.
Is it a 2D cartoon?
No, they're not
CG.
doing 2D anymore. They're all 3D
Like
from this
they're
point
never
on.
gonna make another 2D cartoon.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much. They
I
think
was-
they closed
they
their
say
2D
that.
division.
They say that, but they'll end up doing something very.
It'll be like in
similar
10
the
years,
future.
it's like
Isn't
a
everybody
throwback.
kind of nostalgic for like really like nicely drawn 2D?
I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that shit, man.
the 3D animation's all well and good, but it's never gonna match the sort of like beauty
Well,
that you can
it's two
achieve
different
with.
things.
Yeah.
Even I mean, they do successfully merge it though. There was a short that I think won an Oscar last
It's-
year called The Paper Man or The Paper Airplane Man or whatever. You can find it on
Paper
YouTube.
Man.
The Paper Man. That's
it
like a 7
ran
minute.
before Wreck-It Ralph.
It's a 7 minute black and white cartoon, and it's 2D. It looks like it's hand drawn, but it was actually done in computer, and it's a beautiful.
Yeah, they did a nice
beautiful
job with
short.
that.
And it looks just like a 2D animation movie, but I feel like as long as they make that at least, in the future,
short,
I'm excited.
The short that's going to air before Frozen is called "Get a Horse," and it's actually a brand new Mickey Mouse short, and it also blends 2D and 3D pretty ingeniously, from what I've heard.
I'm excited then.
It'll take that 2D perspective and suddenly goes into 3D. So
See,
sounds pretty cool.
I'm excited about that. I do miss like some of my favorite Disney movies are like The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, all the classics from when we were younger, or even Oliver and Company. I mean, that was still 87, I think. But even those, the 2D animated, it's definitely has more nostalgia, more, I don't know, there's more to there, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of anybody working in computer or anything. I love Pixar
No,
and I
it's
love all
incredible.
the
Yeah.
CG, but there's something to be said about watching a 2D animated movie. So yeah, sewers are cool. Dan, when you're in New York, research those sewers for us.
I will go
Root
down
around.
there.
Root
I'm
around.
gonna find that canister that blinded Daredevil and gave us the
Swoop
Ninja
around.
Turtles.
Yeah, same
I'll
canister,
do it
fun
all.
fact.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're about out of
We are
time.
about out of time.
You guys got a hard out over here, huh?
Yeah,
we
except
don't-
the studio is going to explode. It's if we go over 50 minutes.
Yeah,
it's the opposite of speed.
We try to keep them around 45, 50 minutes. That seems to be the happy medium.
Yeah.
It flew by.
Yeah, it did.
Well, Clark, where can people find you online? Where can
They
people
can't.
find you?
There's-
Just go on
I've
go on
tried.
Craigslist.
No, you can't. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. You can't find me.
Not even a
can't.
Friendster account lying dormant.
You have to know me in real life.
Gotcha.
That's
cool.
it.
I appreciate that. You gotta, humor
You had my
action.
email. That's
Yes.
I don't have your email.
I'll give it out over to the
Absolutely.
listeners.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan 69 at earthlink.net.
At angelfire.livejournal.
Please send Clark a hand-carved stone tablet
Go to-
with your message.
Go to you can check out my GeoCities page.
Yes. It still has a little shit that follows the mouse when you move it around.
Yep.
Where can they see you
what do you got
on
coming
the
up?
big or small screen coming up?
Well, ACOD is out in theaters
Yes,
right now.
you should
and,
go see it. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. A handful of like New York, LA. I mean, it's an indie, so it's like a limited release.
Is it going into wider release?
It is. I don't know exactly how wide.
Yeah.
I don't know. They kind of seem to stair step the
Just look up
Theater counts.
ACOD release dates, and then
great
you will
little
get your
movie.
answer.
Adam Scott, Richard
Bing it.
Jenkins, Catherine O'Hara. Yeah, Bing. Just Bing a theater near you. And then Hot Tub Time Machine 2 will be out, I think around March or sometime in the spring.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is
That's
that
exciting.
is that quarter one or is that quarter two?
I guess it's quarter one.
Yeah.
And then I think it's
Kick-Ass 2 just came out on
Kick-Ass 2
DVD,
just came out
right?
on
Yes.
DVD. That's out right
Great
now.
movie. I love that
The
movie.
Croods is out on Blu-ray.
Oh yes.
If you want to,
enjoyed that movie too.
yeah, I did too.
Yes.
I
Fun
thought
movies.
I thought it was.
I didn't
really
realize you were in
beautiful.
the Croods.
I'm the kid. I'm the giant child.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's Steve Crude.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm Roger Crude, the attorney.
Now, do you think did they call it the crude because it has to do with like crude oil, or is that just a play on words, or is it
I think
nice
it's just
stretching?
a
Am I
pun
really
of
trying to
like
stretch?
like a caveman sounding word. I don't think.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
All right.
It's a family name.
Yeah, just let it go. Don't
Yes, the
overthink
East Egg Crudes.
it. The East Egg Croods.
The ASAC. Cool. So ACOD.
ACOD out now. Yeah.
ACOD, Kick-Ass 2, The Croods,
The
Hot Tub
Croods.
Time Machine 2.
Yeah.
You'll have no shortage of opportunities
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or just turn on cable,
Yeah.
and you can always see Sex Driver, Hot Tub Time Machine on
Oh man,
Comedy
Sex
Central.
Drive.
Yeah.
TBS.
I forgot you were in Sex Drive.
Around
That
the
movie's
clock.
so funny.
It's like back in the day they used to play
It's the new Saving Silverman, yes.
Thank you. I make this joke all the time, and everyone gives me a stone
Oh,
face.
dude, I got so excited like 2 weekends ago. It was like Saturday morning, and I woke up and Saving Silverman was on, followed by Sex Drive, and I was like, "This is what making it feels like."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, feels good. When they're stuck together like that,
The new Saving
it's just
Silverman.
one
New
entertaining
Saving-
block.
That's funny.
Well,
hilarious.
fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
Um,
joining us. We'd love to have you back eventually. yeah.
Anytime.
And if you guys want to find us online, because you can't find Clark, you might be heartbroken, but you can still find us. We're on Twitter at TWL Podcast, where you can email us at twlpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook Today We Learned with Razzle and Dan, or you can talk to us directly. I am at OsteoFerocious. Razzle is at My Name is Razzle. 2, the number 2, not TOO. He's not being cute.
No.
It's just the number 2.
The number 2.
So let us know what you think. Give us your facts. We love to hear from you. We appreciate your ears. We appreciate you listening. And as always, we hope you learned something.
Yeah, and tell your friends.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
That's the best endorsement we can.
We're gonna on all the ads. We're just gonna put in quotations. I learned a lot. And then it'll be like Clark Duke, the guy from the Croods.
Did I sound too sincere? Not sincere enough. What was the?
It's going to be like, and look what our customers have to say.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
I learned a lot. Use that one.
We nailed it. Put it on
I
wax.
learned a lot. That's wrap. Wrap it. Put it to tape. All right, thanks guys, and yeah, give us a review on iTunes. We love those. Thank you guys. Give us a review, please.
Bing Tunes.
Bing Tunes.
Yeah.
Zune. Download on your Zune.
Not to bag, but
If you get lost, ask Jeeves.
we really appreciate everybody for listening once again. And
Yes.
thank you. We couldn't do this without you,
Except for you.
except for you. And
You know who you are.
Alrighty, let's end it. Cool. Bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.